I'm an attention arbitrage entrepreneur.
We are the Breakfast Club. Got a special guest in the building.
My favorite corporate thug motivator is back.
The next trend is meditation. If you want to get real smart, so back to, hey, give us a practical piece of advice. If you're intrigued by mental health, I'm super intrigued by this issue. So I think mental health needs to be the #1 thing we talk about over the next 20 years. Mental health is something we need to put on a pedestal and really start talking about. Meditation is a huge opportunity. Everybody's gonna be doing it. If your operating system isn't right, if your brain's not right, nothing else is gonna work. If you're a business person, if you're starting a juice company, if you're trying to flip sneakers and it's 100% about the money, you're gonna lose. If you don't love your process, if you don't love eating the shit along the way, you got 0 shots to hit that huge level. If you don't like taking 1,000 free throws, if you don't like being in the office until midnight, if you don't like waiting in line for 6 hours in the cold to get that thing, you're finished. The people that are winning are the ones who wake up at 4:30, take 2 trains, and get 3rd in line and love it.
Gary V, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
guy.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Appreciate
Good
it.
morning.
What's up, vlog? Really in the midst of things. Tomorrow's the big day. The launch of my sneaker and my Jackie Robinson year, number 42. So looking forward to that. By the time you watch this, it was already my birthday, so in the comments you can go with happy belated.
As far as tasting shit is concerned, I want to taste as much of it as I can in as many places as I can.
Interesting.
What I'm going to do is travel the world.
I love it. So what's the plan in detail? When do you start traveling?
January 12th,
And where are you going?
Beijing,
And what are you doing there?
teaching 3 to 5-year-old kids English.
I love it.
I'd love your thoughts on this idea. With personal branding in mind, I realized that I don't necessarily want to be the person marketing someone else.
You want to market yourself.
I want to market myself.
I understand that.
Yeah, but I obviously need to have time where I can say something worth of value that actually helps people.
Or you document versus creating, right?
Yes.
I think it's super appropriate for you to talk about the 1 year in China and get a homie to help you, or you do it yourself like Casey does, of all those journeys and learnings and struggling with learning Mandarin, and I didn't know how hard languages were, or oh my God, this kid in my class understood English in 1 day, he's a fucking genius, or I tasted this fruit and what the fuck. The big thing that I push against, and this is good clarity for everybody watching and you, is just when people front and they think they're a business expert or a life coach at 22, it's tough. It's tough because other people look at that and say,
You can smell the bullshit.
yeah, you know what, listen, talent is talent. Maybe you are so wise. I feel like I was an old soul, so maybe you can be a life coach at 22. It's not for me to judge. I think that people do it for the sake of selling some program for $1,000 a month.
Which isn't my end goal.
And by the way, that doesn't bother me either. It's just that I see a lot of people building a personal brand with one agenda, to then monetize that audience in some sort of horseshit thing.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think you have to eat shit for a decade, and you don't have to do my narrative. I'm not sure if I would have stayed quiet from 22 to 34 if all this existed.
Yeah.
But what I do know is I wouldn't be acting the way I'm acting now. I'd be talking about, first of all, I wish it happened, because then everybody would have really saw how fucking hard I was working. But I think it's super appropriate to document, man. I think the documentation creates the origin story. When you can recall shit at 29 or 34 and literally play the clip of the first time that you used AR in Asia, got it?
Yeah.
That's why it's important. What people don't realize about what I'm doing right now is this is fucking awesome. 10 years from now, this makes this look like shit. When I'm recalling shit.
And recalling the recall. Yeah.
Do you know how crazy it's gonna be when fucking voice rules the world and I show this entire fucking year of me spitting it? It's one thing for me, it happened the other day. Those Musical.ly tweets late at night of me talking about Musical.ly 2 years ago and putting Musical.ly on and believing in it, and then it sells for $1 billion, a hell of a lot better than when I tell people I invested in Facebook and Twitter, because that's me telling you.
Yeah.
Me showing you? Plus it's also cool for life. Your grandkids, are you kidding?
Yeah.
In China?
Yeah.
It's fucking rad.
Yeah.
You know? So I would create as much content as possible. That would be my advice. It's a real pleasure, man. Good luck to you. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything I can help you with in the few minutes that we have here?
So I think my biggest concern right now is getting a team. So it's hard to hire people who are actually skillful at the right price. Cause like,
Can you teach it quickly?
yes and no. I feel like I can teach it.
Let me ask you a better question.
Okay.
Can you fire quickly? Are you allowed in China to
Yes.
fire? Then that's what then you're lucky. If you were in fucking Norway or Europe, France, you're dead with my thesis. I've got a great answer for you. Fire quickly. I'm giving you my advice, eating my own dog food. I go on gut. Kyle, I keep pointing to him because he's filming right now. Man, I went on gut. I had a phone call with him, I had a drink at a bar with him. I'm like, you're hired. If he sucked or was all time, it would have both made sense to me. If I fire quickly, he'll work for me for 9 weeks, but I'll give him a 3-month severance so I feel like I'm a good guy. You know, so I didn't fuck them up too much. Or I'll know their situation. Like if I hire somebody who like had no options in life, I'm like, look, it's not like I took them away from Harvard Business School. You know, I'll play the reality of the situation. I think that's what you do, man. You fire quickly.
Here in Vayner Media with...
What up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing your thing. One life, baby. Take advantage of it.
Thank you.
Yo, 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 yo.
What's up, bro?
What up, baby?
This is the ambassador of arbitrage, the harem leader of hustle. Gary Vay, Nerdchuck is in the building. What's up, man?
Life is good, man. Thanks for having me. My legacy of like putting people on and bringing value while I got mine is gonna matter exponentially more to me than the dollar amounts. Listen, there's a lot of people that are gonna make more money than me.
Yeah.
But I really, really am gonna try to make sure nobody has a bigger impact than me.
That's some fly shit.
It's why I'm passionate about doing stuff like this. I, after doing a quick audit and kind of intuition of like, I
Right.
knew I wanted to do it.
Right.
Do you know how pumped I am I'm doing this show? Do you know why?
No, I have no clue.
Because I want you to use me as a guest of this to get a different level of guest to get you to the next place. I know where I came from.
Yeah.
And giving back to that thing is the most interesting thing in the world.
Yeah.
And the amount of, in a world where my hour is my fucking,
Yeah, that's a lot of time for you.
you know, to me, if you ask me the thing that's most interesting for me, it's the emails you're gonna send to the other people or the people when they look or, you know?
Yeah.
Brand arbitrage. I think my bigger advantage was my mother. If you ask me what's a bigger advantage to why I'm gonna win,
Yeah.
it is way more my mother than being a white dude. Cause she fucking set me up.
Yeah.
Real proper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think your mother, and I'm talking about everybody who's watching.
Right.
Or your father if he was the stay-at-home, whoever raised you.
Right.
Let's go cliche, or your grandmother, right? Let me go to every angle.
Let's go to Mark.
Right?
Yeah.
That is a crazy variable in the way that I see the world. The person that was the puppet master of your mindset, positive or negative. My grandmother fucked my dad up real good. And my dad won,
Right.
but she was negative. Everything was bad.
Right.
Don't believe in anybody. Everybody's jealous. Everything is bad. The world's out to get you. And watching my dad filter the world, I'm like, fuck man, I'm glad I don't see the world that way. And that has nothing to do with black, white, girl, boy.
Right.
So that's how I see it. Everybody's reality is their reality.
Yeah.
Like they don't know. Like it's tough nobody can be in anybody's shoes.
No.
Nobody was with me when I was crying to my mom. Like at 18, I would cry to my mom a lot. It was the last time I really cried a lot, except when Garrison Hurst broke a 99-yard touchdown in 1999 against the Jets in week 1 in overtime. I literally cried. I was 24 years old, just so everybody understands. Anyway, I didn't want to go into my dad's liquor store business. The great struggle of my early adult life was knowing that I knew I was gonna be all-time great.
Right.
Knew it.
Right.
Knew it.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I went and got into my dad's liquor store business, that people would dangle it over my head.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wanted to do right by my dad
Right.
and mom because they did so right by me. To ever apologize when you don't do the wrong thing is a wrong strategy.
Goddamn Damn right it is. I never say sorry for something I don't know.
And by the way, on the flip side, I love those rare occasions where I get to say sorry, because I'll say it.
Right, because
you gotta
know
own
shit.
your shit. Nobody fucking listening and watching this is perfect. Baseball cards, wine, the agency, and even me as a human, I'm doing the same shit over and over. I disproportionately understand what people are gonna do before they do it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to eat shit and do the work, not just pontificate about it.
Right.
And then I deploy that attention of those executions against the thing. And then I got smart 7 years ago and said, fuck, let me build a machine around this skill. VaynerMedia is the manifestation of a platform that is basically my one thing. And my one thing is intuitive understanding of what people are gonna do before they do it and going all in. Investing in Twitter and and Tumblr and all this stuff, right? That's what I did.
If you were to die tomorrow, what would you want to be remembered for?
That I gave more than I took.
I have a thing that I'm doing that I started when it comes to education called Black Boys Win. Almost like a Udemy for young black boys, manhood training, things of that nature.
Interesting.
What do you think what I need to do to raise the funds? Because I've got it.
How much do you need?
Right now I need 15 grand.
I'm in.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll pay for the whole thing.
Get the fuck out of here.
I put
Is this tape rolling?
I'm
Son
in.
of a bitch.
Now do something with it.
Oh man, trust me, I will. That's amazing. Like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Gary Vaynerchuk. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome, bro.
Appreciate that, man.
See ya. What's the name again? Nicole, hey, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're on the Ask Gary Vee show with Tim Ferriss.
Oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
If you're tried and true, the market will come to you. What is super interesting to me about hip hop is it is now a absolute fundamental pillar of our culture across all genres, and it stayed true to itself. It evolved, but the world came to hip hop. Hip hop didn't go to the world. And then I realized as I got older, rock and roll did the same thing. And honestly, that's what happened with me in entrepreneurship. If you believe in your thing, stick with it, and the world will come to you. If you're passionate about cricket protein, this is not a joke by the way now, this is actually something I think is gonna work out. If you're passionate about cricket protein, bet the farm on it, because if you see it and you understand why you see it, it's gonna be a lot of fun in 9 years when we're all eating it, and you were there, not because it's not selling right now. Most of the things that have brought good to Tim and I, because I can definitely speak for myself and I've watched from afar and sometimes close with Tim, people weren't super sure about at the time. We're playing on being historically correct. Hip hop was historically correct. On this episode, the incredible Timothy Ferriss stops by.
Gary,
Yes.
can we go over an article really quick? Not an interview, but
Yes, give me 1 second. Here it is, giving away these shoes. Who's getting these? Some great kid.
Yeah.
First pair I ever wore, being shipped out. This is one of the great reasons to be part of my notification squad on Instagram. Make sure you set your notifications. 60-second club. We're just having fun with it. It's just a lot of fun. Gamification, just like fun. Literally fun needs to be part of it. I think it's funny that you have to leave a comment in the first 60 seconds. I don't think there's any big strategy or any big, I don't think it brings any value. I think the value is fun, and escapism and fun is a big thing. So turn on your notifications on Instagram. I'm always doing a ton of stuff. First pair, is this going in this box?
Yep.
Switching out? First pair I ever wore, getting sent out. You got his name?
Mohammed Hassan.
Mohammed Hassan. Enjoy it, brother. Love you.
For his younger brother, actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Listen, get a good look at this. Maybe there's some sort of scuff that people can prove this was, actually, give me a pen of some sorts. Yeah, here it is. 001. First pair. There it is. Let me put on this one too. Son, or his brother. If you might be able to make some money on this one day if I can continue to bring value to the world. Beautiful. All right, go ahead.
I have complete understanding that what I'm saying doesn't always encompass everyone's specific circumstances, and want to acknowledge that I'm doing the best that I can. At its most basic form, I want to use some of these ideas and expressions to further the conversation or allow someone to experience the personal unlock to see things differently or with a different perspective. I just want you to look at the bright side and to the best of my ability, inspire others to have access to another mindset that I found valuable in my own life. As a practitioner of these ideas, I am trying to give you advice that has worked for me. The reason I differentiate my content is so that I can have greater articulation on a number of specific issues. With video, you get to hear what I'm saying, which is always improvised and only captures my thoughts in a single moment. One of the things I find most fascinating is that even though I document everything, you still only get to see 1 to 2% of what's really going on. You are hearing one sentence in one meeting during one day. The funny thing is the vlog I produce is only 15 minutes of the 15 hours of work. All in all, you actually don't get to see that much. So the reason why I do a podcast and a vlog and quotes on Instagram and produce these articles is so that I can give you the most nuance to my ideas and to respect the creative and the differences of each platform. Quotes on Instagram might not always capture the full story, which is why I write these articles to expand those ideas and go deeper into the details. You have to analyze context and look at the bigger picture. I'm always trying to assess what works in culture and deploy my creative in a way that makes sense for the context of the room I'm in. Currently, quotes on Instagram really work. They're one piece of the puzzle that have an enormous impact for what I would consider the most motivational side of me. The vlog, podcast, and articles are where I can get a lot more tactical about what I'm trying to convey. I can't write 10 pages on legacy and put it on Twitter. I can't always articulate all of my thoughts in a keynote or intermeeting. Those nuances and that context is really, really important. A lot of people want to judge me and make assessments of a single piece of content they see. But the truth is, it's all about context. You have to watch my videos and read my articles and listen to my keynotes to really understand my tweets or quotes or 2-minute videos online. That's where the message is. That's where the mindset comes into play. One of the best
Put in quotes there in parentheses or something there, and also say, or you don't, because I know you guys have options and time, but to get the full picture, that's the reality of the situation. It's like a great meal at a restaurant. You're more than welcome to just judge it on the green peas without taking into consideration the glass of champagne that we gave you when you first walked in, the music that was playing, the smiles from the bartender, the color of the linens, the peas, the before mentioned peas as your first dish, the main course, the dessert, the wine selection, the service, and the treats we sent you home with, and the follow-up phone call we gave you 2 weeks later to see how it was. You didn't see the whole thing. That's how I think about my entire content strategy. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Fuck, you know what's even more true? You guys both consumed my content, a lot of it, and you had no fucking idea until you got inside the vortex. Even remotely close to how deep and real it is, right?
Yeah, I always tell people it's different from consuming it to working directly with you and then filming it.
Yeah, the filming is the crazy, right?
Yeah, very intense.
What's the most intense? Here, give me this. Let's flip. This is gonna be the meat of the episode.
Oh my.
So what? Filming it? What?
Basically, just I get to observe every moment, every minute, every meeting, everything you mumble, everything.
And so that makes sense. So what's the early observations of what does that give you clarity into, or what's an observation? And don't sugarcoat it to be nice.
Well, basically, I went from consuming it as a fan and online mentor to then working directly with Gary, with you.
Team Gary.
Gary, to then filming it being on the inside, seeing the way your mind runs, your whole thought process behind everything in the meetings, all the conversations you have.
So what have you learned?
One of my favorite things to do while filming you is just observing what you observe. So for instance, today you had the first podcast that you did.
Gary Vay, Nerdchuck is in the building. What's up, man?
And you mentioned something about the shoes.
Yes.
And you were gonna give him a pair of shoes, and then once you said
13s.
Yeah, you said 13s.
I don't have any sneakers, but I wear size 13.
Respect. Get it done, guys.
And then he said, surprise me, whichever ones.
You want the leather or the Flyknit?
I'll let you pick. I don't
Okay.
care.
Yep.
You looked at his shoes,
Go ahead.
Second thing,
which
Oh.
you looked at his shoes. Which
Good. I'm proud, dude. You just made the vlog good, dude.
You looked at his shoes real quick, and I know, just in my mind, told me like you just want to check out his style. Just want to see
That's
kind
such
of how. And
So you know what that is? You know how I always talk shit that I'm listening more than it looks like?
Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
And
That's exactly
and
right.
those are things I always.
Ah, that's super
look
interesting.
for.
Good job. You just made the vlog good.
Yes.
Cool.
That's it. But basically, it was.
Let's go. What's it titled?
My content is a mindset.
Great. Let's go. Publish it. Do you know if I had a wish besides good health for all of you, it is that I wish people understood what they felt like when they were older? That would be such a gift because it would slow down the whole game. You'd be so much more thoughtful because that's what you're running up against when it's early. You know, dollars or things that you need, whatever checkbox your family and your DNA created in your mind, and we're racing against it, and it's such a short-term arbitrage, and it creates such bad behavior. If you guys knew what it felt like to be 15 years older than you are right now, you would get real patient, and that would give you huge advantages. Wrapping up, heading home, family stuff.